The subtotal and aggregate functions have a unique risk. So let's go and just find a subtotal. So what you'll see here, we've got a subtotal, and we now need to investigate these. A major risk with subtotal and aggregate, for that matter, is not that the formula can be wrong, but the actual data it's looking at. So let's go look at this one here. So what you'll see here is it's telling us a noun. So what it should be doing is looking at this listing. You'll notice there's two subtotals, and logically speaking, 3 plus 3 should be 6. If we look at the formula, you'll see it's correctly doing it. But the assumption subtotal and aggregate make is that any subtotal will be created using the function subtotal, and it will then ignore them. So if I click on that cell there, you can see it's got a subtotal in. But if I click on this one here, you'll notice someone has gone and replaced the subtotal with a sum. So they've gone, perhaps they didn't understand subtotal, so they've created a sum. They've seen it, but they haven't realized that what they've done here has affected this calculation down here. That's similar here with an aggregate. So same thing, it's highlighted. 6 plus 6 should be 12. For some reason we're getting 18. This one's got a subtotal, that's fine. Aggregate can ignore subtotal. But when I look here, you'll see someone's gone and manually done that cell plus that cell plus that cell. So subtotal and aggregate, they rely heavily on the correct functions existing in other cells. So you need to actually look at the other cells when considering the risk of subtotal and aggregate. A risk with subtotal and aggregate is that they can actually act differently depending on whether there are hidden rows, and in aggregate's case, error messages. So for subtotal, if we look here, this number here tells Excel what to do, and a 9 means a sum. But if it said 109 or any of the other numbers in the hundreds, 106, etc., what that means is subtotal will ignore any hidden cells. Let's just go look for an aggregate function. So if I look at aggregate, so aggregate works similar to subtotal. That 9 means sum, but the second criteria here, this 3, means that it must ignore error messages and hidden rows. So let's just go see if that's a problem. So you'll see over here, seems okay. We can go trace formula, but that same aggregate function is not going to work out over here. So because of the way it's been set up, even though there's a name error here, so if I click on it, someone has put a nonsense name here, I actually want to see that. It would be useful if that came through and warned me that there's a problem in the spreadsheet. The aggregate formula, because of what was chosen, ignores it and just adds up the rest. So you'll be a little bit careful with aggregate and subtotal. They have the ability to ignore error messages and hidden rows. The issue with hidden rows as well is it's very easy for someone to hide a few rows, not realizing that it actually affects the calculation. So you'll be a little bit careful relying on subtotal or aggregate functions.